pig, so to speak. They put on a new face. They give it new names. It's the same tyranny that has existed for 5,000 years. The nobles and the peasants. They create poverty everywhere they go in the name of the good of the people. If you don't believe me, look at Detroit. Look at the liberal states and cities, and I challenge you, for any of you who may be listening, which I doubt, because you see, today's so-called liberals and progressives, they're incapable of critical thinking. Doesn't matter how much proof you show them that global warming is a charade, global warming is a scam and a hoax. Doesn't matter how much evidence you produce that Barack Obama is a criminal. And a communistic statist. Doesn't matter how much evidence. I don't care if you're talking about the IRS, Benghazi, Fast and Furious, the AP scandal, the Fox News scandal, scandal. It doesn't matter. They are incapable. Today's liberals are incapable of critical thinking, which is a shame, but it's symbolic. You know, it's symbolic of those times in history when tyranny ruled. It's symbolic of the nobility, you know, the nobles and the peasants. You know, when the kings and the emperors confiscated everything from everyone, and then drove down the street in their chariots throwing loaves of bread to the people, and they just you know, the people saw them as, you know, gods. Because the people were incapable of critical thinking, incapable of you know, defending liberty. We've seen Santa Claus, you know. There's nothing different between this president and the Roman emperor known as Nero. Not much difference, put it that way. I don't think Nero had a BlackBerry or an iPhone. I don't think he had a bulletproof limousine either. No difference. No difference between what's happening now in our country and what happened in Nazi Germany in the 1930s. We are on that path. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Oh, we're not rounding up, you know, Jews and marching them into showers and putting them in ovens yet, which in our case, I don't think it would be Jews. Too many liberal Jews in this country, which, you know, by the way, John Stewart, you know, all the liberal Jews. I've never seen self-hating, so many self-hating Jews we have in this country. It's bizarre. Then again, I've never saw so many self-hating Americans as I see in the Democrat Party today. And it probably wouldn't be Jews that they're going to march into showers and put in ovens. No. My guess is it'll be, you know, it'll be Tea Partiers. It'll be patriots labeled as terrorists. You know, That's what evil does. Evil paints good with an evil brush, and then for the good of the people, we got to round these people up. I'm telling you, it's coming. Oh, I don't know if we're 1 year away from it, 10 years away from it, or even 50 or 100 years away from it, but that's the path we're on. It's coming. It's what happens every time a society turns away from God. Because when you look away from God, when you turn away from God, what are you turning towards? The abyss. The abyss that is liberalism. Modern, today's liberalism. Hey, I used to be a liberal, so I don't want to hear, still am liberal in thought, liberal in theory, liberal in contemplation, liberal in, the way of critical thinking. Still about as open-minded as you can be. I don't care if we're talking about politics or we're talking about the universe. We're not talking about liberals. There are no, quote-unquote liberals today. The label's still there, but the definition has changed. Liberal fascist, maybe. If you throw fascist on the end, that's a little closer to being an accurate description. The liberals who call you evil if you don't want to buy their baby killing pills. The liberals who if you say, what, I don't like the direction this country's going, I don't like what this president's doing. Rather than debate you on the facts, rather than, be open-minded enough to say, wow, I didn't know all that. I didn't know all about all those scandals. I didn't know about all that evidence. Maybe you got something here. Rather than that, you're racist. If you say this president is out of control and his policies are ruining the country, you're a racist. That's what liberalism means today. And personally, I don't give a damn what they think. They're brain-dead zombies. I want to return. When we say we want to take our country back, we mean we want to go back. When we say we want to take our country back, we mean we want to go back. Go back to the days when this country was great. Oh, we've always had our flaws, don't get me wrong. There are no perfect men on this planet. No, not one. Thereby, there are no perfect nations. But when we say we want to take our country back, we want to go back. to the days when you could leave your car unlocked and the keys in the ignition. We want to go back when nobody worried about locking their front doors. We want to go back to when every adult in the neighborhood looked after your child as if they were his own or her own. And you did likewise. We want to go back when this country and the majority of our citizens had honor and integrity. When the almighty dollar wasn't the end all for everybody. When people would quit their jobs based on principle. When people would walk away from everything when their conscience mandated it. That's what we want to go back to. That's what we want to take back. We want to take our country back so we can return it to there. Has nothing to do with the color of the president's skin. I despise this president. I despise Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi. I despise all these people. Has nothing to do with the color of their skin or the D or the R that's behind their name. It has to do with the fact that they're destroying our republic. It has to do with the fact that everything our founding fathers fought and died for is being flushed down the toilet. Which is a good metaphor for the Democrat Party and a big chunk of the Republican Party as far as that goes. My question tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is where are all the Americans? Where did the Americans go? I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not all gone. But we are most certainly, apparently, in the minority. Only recently becoming so, which is the tipping point of the destruction of our country. We've always had radicals, we've always had wackos, we've always had commies, socialists, Marxists. We've always had a fringe element in this country since the day we were born. But that's exactly what they were. They were fringe. They were minorities and ultra-minorities. Now the inmates have the keys to the asylum. Now the whack jobs have the keys to the med shed, the money shed, the power shed, every shed. We are being destroyed from within, just as our founding fathers warned us about. And you know, and it's sad. It's sad that men 200 years ago saw this coming, and we still can't stop it. My name is Anthony Schindler, and this is the Patriot Addiction.